The arena lights fade, leaving only the echo of a restless crowd and the tension of a secret everyone can feel, but no one can name. A figure steps into the tunnel, moving with the steady certainty of someone who has never been touched, never been questioned, never been slowed. The world watches as she walks forward, the cold glow of the spotlight rising behind her, like the sun behind a storm. Every step is a reminder of something terrifying. She does not hope to win. She expects to end everything in front of her, the same way she has ended every challenge before she carries the weight of 12 first-round finishes, 12 victims, 12 fights that lasted less than a single heartbeat of doubt. Every opponent came in with a strategy, a plan, a belief that they could survive the onslaught. They all left the cage broken before the first 60 seconds had even passed. And so the crowd does not wonder whether the undefeated champion can win again. They wonder whether the challenger will even have time to breathe. But beneath the applause and the confidence and the record that seems carved out of stone, something darker is forming, a tension that does not belong to the crowd, but to fate itself. Because when someone rises this quickly, when someone builds an aura this powerful, when someone becomes a myth instead of a person, the fall is no longer a possibility, it becomes a guarantee. And somewhere in the distance, far beyond the cheers and far beyond the bright lights, that fall is already on its way. The crowd does not see it yet. The commentators do not hear it yet. Even she does not feel it yet. But the first crack in the armor has already appeared, so small and silent that no one notices a shadow at the edge of the spotlight. A whisper at the end of each victory, a reminder that no one stays untouchable forever. Tonight she walks to the cage the same way she always has, with absolute confidence in the aura of inevitability. But soon the same aura that made her unstoppable will become the weight that drags her under. Soon the world will witness something no one ever believed possible. The moment the greatest fighter alive discovers she is human. This is the story of how perfection turns into pressure, how confidence becomes blindness, and how an empire collapses not over years, but in 2 violent, unforgettable nights. 12 first-round victories built the legend. 2 head kicks destroyed it, and everything that follows begins right here, in the final calm before the storm. Before anyone understood what they were witnessing, the transformation had already begun. A woman steps into the cage with a record that looks almost unreal. 12 victories, 0 defeats, 12 first-round finishes. No warm-ups, no slow starts, no tactical decisions. Just immediate destruction, delivered with the cold efficiency of someone who never had to worry about a second round. Commentators repeat the numbers with disbelief. 12-0. Every victory sealed before the clock even had a chance to breathe. Fans begin arguing not about who might beat her, but how long any challenger could possibly survive before the inevitable submission appears. Each opponent walks into the cage convinced they have discovered the secret. Some train to avoid the clinch, some focus on angles, some swear they will force a striking match and keep the fight standing. Yet all of them crumble exactly the same way. A brief scramble, a quick transition, hips turn, arms twist, and before a minute passes, the referee is peeling her off the defeated challenger. It is not just dominance, it is inevitability, a phenomenon unfolding in real time. Crowds know the script before the fight begins. The bell rings. She moves forward like a predator that has already studied its prey from every angle. Her opponent backs up, trying to calculate escape routes that simply do not exist. The moment their hands touch, the fight is already over. What follows is the final seconds of a story that was decided long before the cage door locked. And as each victory piles up, something more dangerous begins to form. Not just a winning streak, not just a champion, something larger. Something mythic. Fans begin speaking her name like a prophecy. Commentators treat every fight as a coronation. Even opponents seem to enter the cage knowing they are walking directly into the jaws of defeat. For a moment, it feels permanent. For a moment, it feels like the world is watching the birth of a figure who will rule the sport forever. But that moment will not last, because no matter how dominant someone appears, the longer perfection lasts, the heavier it becomes. And somewhere in the near future, the wait will become unbearable. February of the year 2013. The lights inside the Honda Center burn brighter than ever, because tonight something unprecedented is about to happen. A woman will step into the octagon for the first time in the history of the organization. Cameras slide across the crowd as fans hold their breath, knowing history is unfolding in front of them. The challenger, Liz Carmouche, walks toward the cage with determination carved across her face. She is the underdog, the pioneer, the woman given the impossible task of standing across from a force who finishes every opponent with frightening ease. The cage door shuts. The crowd holds still for a heartbeat. Then the opening bell rings and everything erupts. For a moment, Carmouche surprises the world. She climbs onto the champion's back, cranking a neck crank so tight that the entire arena gasps. Commentators scream that this might be it. The referee leans forward. For the first time ever, the champion is in real danger. For a few seconds, it feels like history is about to twist in the most shocking way possible. But then the champion's face changes. Calm settles in. She pulls the challenger's grip apart with a cold, mechanical confidence. She flips the position, she dominates the scramble, and when she secures the arm, the entire building knows what is about to come next. A twist, a torque, and Carmouche taps. The crowd explodes with applause so loud it echoes through the arena like thunder. Women's mixed martial arts becomes real in that moment. Not an experiment, not a sideshow, a legitimate force, and the woman standing in the center of the cage is no longer just a fighter. She is a symbol, a champion who has not only secured the belt, but launched an entire era. And yet, hidden within that triumph is the first sign of a dangerous truth. Even invincible legends can be touched. Even unstoppable champions can be threatened. But for now, that warning is buried beneath cheers and celebration. The rise continues, and nothing seems capable of slowing it. The lights of Las Vegas burn brighter than any other fight city in the world. But on this night, they feel colder, sharper, almost indifferent. Ronda walks toward the cage again, not with the unstoppable aura she once carried, but with the heaviness of someone trying to outrun the memory of a nightmare. Months of silence, months of pressure, months of hiding from the world have brought her back here. Every step she takes feels heavier, not because of fear, but because of expectation. Brutal, suffocating expectation. This is not just a fight. This is a referendum on her entire career. Across from her stands Amanda Nunes, a champion not yet fully recognized by the mainstream. But everyone inside the sport understands exactly what she is. A predator with power that does not forgive mistakes, pressure that does not slow down, and a level of confidence that is rooted in reality, not hype. Amanda does not see a myth in front of her. She sees a human being who has already been broken once, and she plans to break her again. The bell rings and the difference is immediate. The speed, the violence, the certainty. Amanda fires combinations that slice through the air with the ease of someone shadowboxing, but each one lands with the force of a sledgehammer. Ronda tries to push forward, tries to recreate the old chaos that used to overwhelm opponents, but nothing lands. Everything misses. Every movement feels a half-second too slow. Her eyes widen, not in fear, but in the sudden realization that the sport has moved forward without her. Amanda smells blood before the world does. A right hand snaps Ronda's head back. Another follows. A left hook twists her sideways. The aura that once protected her evaporates in seconds. And then comes the moment that ends the era. A clean, brutal combination that leaves Ronda frozen on her feet, helpless, defenseless, trapped in the spotlight she once owned. The referee steps in, and with the wave of his arms, not only does the fight end, an entire chapter of MMA history shuts forever. The crowd roars, but it is not the roar of celebration. It is the sound of disbelief, the sound of witnessing a legend crushed, not over the course of a career, but in two violent nights that rewrote the mythology of invincibility. At that moment, Ronda Rousey is no longer the most dominant fighter in the world. She is simply human. The world expects answers. They expect interviews, explanations, reflections, something to make sense of the collapse. But instead, Ronda disappears. Not gradually, not with a farewell tour, but immediately and completely. No press conferences, no post-fight statements. The woman who once stood at the center of the MMA universe vanishes from the spotlight overnight. The silence becomes part of the story. Analysts and critics begin dissecting her legacy, but without her voice, the discussion becomes lopsided, almost predatory. Headlines shift from celebration to mockery. Clips of the knockouts go viral, repeated endlessly, turning devastating moments into entertainment. For years, she was the unstoppable force. Now she is the cautionary tale. But beneath the noise, there is something the public doesn't see. The weight of carrying an entire division on her back, the pressure of being the face of the sport, the expectation placed on someone who never asked to be a cultural symbol. For the first time since her rise began, Ronda is allowed to be something she never had the opportunity to be. Quiet. She retreats from the chaos, from the cameras, from the obligation to perform. What remains is not the fighter, not the champion, not the myth, just the person. And while the world is busy judging the fall, she begins rebuilding privately, away from the lights that once followed her every step. This disappearance is not weakness, it is survival. Some fighters retire with speeches. She retires with silence. But the silence speaks louder than any words could. The era is over, and she is choosing peace over pressure.